State of the Nation, January 2025. I do this once a year. It's always quite emotional. We are recording this. There will be a Q&A at the end. We will not record the Q&A. I think I'm going to be more than 30 and less than 40 minutes, because what we've decided to do is a bit of a hose pipe in terms of giving you lots of information. But there is a simple view to the whole piece. So without further ado, let's get going. So January 2025, State of the Nation. Hello, it's wonderful to I just need to let that person in. So State of the Nation 2025. Let's just go for it. GYDA is like a radar. We collect loads of information. We're working with 300-400 agencies at the moment, and this is in a way spinning around what we hear from the agencies and giving it straight back to you. It is being recorded, so you can pick it up later, and you can pick up the slides later on. And the agenda for today is really simple. Everyone wants to talk benchmarks, so let's just spend a couple of minutes on benchmarks. And the actual State of the Nation piece is about, setting the stage, being really clear about what's the thinking behind what we're doing, what are the winners doing, what's the opportunity that's out there, and then finally a call to action. How do you break the glass ceiling? And some AI predictions, because where would we be if we didn't mention AI today? So quick question into the chat there. Just pop in how your 2024 was. 3 words to describe your 2024. So just go to the chat, which is bottom right hand corner, and let's hear what your 2024 was like. Just pop it into the chat right now. I'm going to give you just a couple of moments. The best ever, and then terrible until October, and then hamster wheel. Oh yeah. Good old, well done, Steve. Slog, Oliver England, tough. I mean, this is better than 2023. Really interesting. That's how it goes. Hello, Neil. Uncertainty, loads of uncertainty in 2024. Interesting use of the word opportunities. Really, really good. Hi, Tom. Positive, but consistent. Yeah, great. I mean, this is challenging. This is very interesting with ChatGPT. That's all high there. Exactly that. And let's just for the sake of keeping sense to it. Good morning, Philippa. I hope you're well and your broken legs and arms are all healed. And second question, how do you think, again, 3 words, how do you think 2025 will be? Put it into the chat. Chat's that little thing, bottom right hand corner. Away you go. Ben says similar, feast and famine, more challenging than 2024. And then we have Russell, the PPT man, saying even better, hopefully. Interesting, really interesting how that goes. Okay, right. Let's Marcus, good to hear that. Yes, Philippa, we do need resilience in teams. That's absolutely for sure. Just kind of do a TLDR in terms of this whole presentation, really. Collapsing market, in terms of what 2025, the State of the Nation, where we are now and where we're going. Collapsing market, the competition noise is increasing to all levels. Question mark, are the opportunities greater than the threats? Are the threats, political, economic, social, technological, are they way worse than the opportunities? And on the other hand, I originally wrote down where's the urgency, but actually I think I want to write down where's the excitement. And I know we're all exhausted after 5 years of COVID and 5 years of this and 5 years of that and 5 years of the other. So this is what we need, just to be kind of really brief about what's going on. This is what we need. We need, predictable, scalable growth. How do we get predictable, scalable growth? Let me just do a quick summary of this. We need to have standout marketing. We need to have simplicity in terms of our tools and our products and our services and our systems and our processes. And finally, we need our commercials to be really on top. That's it. That's the model. The model. We seem to have forgotten what we actually need to achieve. So let's just do the benchmarks really, really quickly. Everyone knows benchmarks are interesting, but they're not everything. This is what you were talking about in January 2024. AI was number 1, followed by sales. Interestingly enough, AI has dropped to number 5, but everyone's talking about sales, positioning, and marketing. Personally, I think AI should be way, way higher than that. And we'll come back to why I think that later on. But interesting thing is AI has dropped, sales to number 1, and that whole thing about market share competitiveness is back up there. Difficult market, hard to make it happen. This is what people are saying. Before, people were saying, we want to go for 30% growth. But the reality is people for 2025 are going to be happy if they get 10%. They wanted EBITDA profit of 25%. Now they're going to be happy if they get 10%. This is what we're hearing in the conversation we've had. This is a slice of the pie. Take home pay for agency leaders. This is UK. They were talking about £100,000 a year. They're now be grateful if they get 50,000 quid a year. So the State of the Nation 2024. Let me just roll through it very quickly, very quickly, and then I'll go through it a bit slowly. Setting the stage, right? The politics, political, economic, social, technological, legislative, environmental stuff, all points downwards, yeah? We're in an oversaturated market, way too many agencies. There's distrust, there's pressure on price, and most of us, the business model's not quite right, or the positioning's not quite right, or a bit too generalist. So who are the winners? Who have they been, and who do we think they're going to be? The winners are the ones with the simple model I showed you just before. They're going to tend to be more profitable the smaller they get. We're seeing agencies downsizing. There's several of you in the room today, and as a result of downsizing, they're more profitable. One agency from 45 to 5 people, one from 25 to 10, one from 15 to 10. Downsizing, stopping running a kindergarten, wiping kids' bottoms, and now they're more successful. Working in the niches, working on their position, working on their business model. And what's the opportunity? The opportunity is digital marketing is not the same as marketing. Our clients need marketing. They also need business strategy. I believe that's the opportunity. Moving from pure execution towards expertise. And this is where AI gets wrapped up into everything. Understanding the difference between efficiency, doing loads of stuff, and intimacy, doing much less stuff, but very, very closely. And then finally, this concept of sense making. And the call to action is get your niche sorted out, get your position sorted out, get your business model sorted out. Consider selling more expertise, especially around marketing or business or marketing strategy. Get your financials nailed. Use AI to empower all this, and understand the different mindset, not the mindset of the agency owner, but the mindset of the entrepreneur who looks for opportunities, and think about timeframes, quarterly timeframes, not annual timeframes. That's the kind of the wraparound of the State of the Nation. People keep coming in. So let's just wrap through this a bit more carefully. So setting the stage. Politically, economic, socially, technologically, it's been ghastly. The market is oversaturated. There are too many generalists. There are not too many agencies which are niche, but there are too many generalists. So the market is oversaturated, but it's oversaturated with generalists. That's a really important point to make. And there is growing distrust of agencies like never before. Pressure on price, and maybe your business model or your position is wrong, and maybe you're just too generalist. Let's just talk about this a bit. You need to evolve or risk becoming irrelevant in this environment, because competition is fierce and differentiation is key. Okay, just want to hold with that for a moment. The market is foul. There's director fatigue. We're exhausted after COVID and after bad economies and bad. There has been, we've got two wars we talk about that are going on at the moment. We've got inflation and recessionary pressure going on, affecting us and our clients. We've had all these elections. There's still more to come, or the implications are more to come. Sloppy pipeline and profits. and the unknown of AI. But on top of that, this oversaturated market is really, really important. Way too many generalists, not enough specialists. Moral of the story is become a set specialists. So the question is, do you operate in a narrow niche? Because if you don't operate in a narrow niche, it's going to be much harder. And the other thing is agency reputation. Yeah, I used to say that running an agency, it was like the economic rent that people have to pay. But now it's more like a tax. You know, people feel that working with an agency is like the tax they have to pay. We've got the reputation like estate agents, where people have had 3 agencies now, none of them work, they're fed up with them, and they don't believe what agencies are saying to them. So, as I say, you've got to evolve or risk becoming irrelevant, especially when the competition is fierce and differentiation is key. So that's the stage very, very briefly. Let's move on to the winners. The winners have this simple model. Observation, a lot of people are getting smaller and more profitable. The winners tend to be in the niches. They tend to have sorted their positioning. They tend to have sorted out their business. We will come back to all of that. So let's just look at this model a bit more carefully. You want to stand out in your marketing, be different, stand for something. Simplicity in your models and your processes and your systems, how you do everything, and have great commercials. That seems obvious to me. We will come back to that. So that's setting the stage. That's what winners do. Now let's look at the opportunity. The opportunity is moving, from just being digital marketing to marketing and strategy. The opportunity is moving from execution to expertise, from efficiency, I would argue, often to intimacy and sense making. And now the fire hose of information, which we've decided we're going to give you. Take notes, listen. Clients don't want digital agencies. They don't wake up in the morning and say, I want a digital agency. They want more, better customers. Yeah. More importantly, they need marketing and strategy. And before you say you are marketers, you're not. Digital marketing is not marketing. Digital marketing is like the classified ads in the back of the newspaper. It's like there's digital marketing, which is about how you make sales. There's marketing, which is understanding customer needs and how to satisfy them. And there's running a business. And my belief is that people do need digital marketing, but more than that, they need marketing and they need help running their businesses. And we are in a position to do that, but it does mean a different mindset and it does mean a different skill set. So the unsuccessful agency is all down to complexity, yeah? Complex. We say we're complex, yeah, but complex means it's messy and many uncontrollable things. Complex is the weather or economics or my relationship with my wife, other people's moods, politics, football. It's all very confusing. Nothing interrelates. But running an agency, we say it's complex. But it's not complex, it's complicated, it's deterministic, things that are linked together. It is controllable, very difficult, but it is controllable. Complicated as a puzzle or rocket science, think what that can do. House building, a relationship with a dog. Once we understand we can make our agencies complicated rather than complex, lots of moving parts, then we're able to actually really move on and make stuff happen. Yeah, so let's go back to this model. Stand out, stand for something, marketing, positioning, simplicity in your system, simplicity in your processes, simplicity in how people approach you and what they get from you. And then your commercials, your numbers make sense. You sell at the right amount, you sell your people at the right amount. Therefore you make enough profit, therefore everything works. The 3 come together. Now, if you've got the simplicity and you've got the standout marketing, but no commercials, you need volume, and that's a really tough gig. And if you have the commercials and you have the standout marketing, but no simplicity of systems and process, that's just stress and chaos. And if you have the simplicity and you have the commercials, but no standout marketing, then you're exposed to market forces. So you need all 3 of these. And that is the main thing about what we need to do with our agencies. So how do you do that? You simplify the strategy, you simplify the business model, you stand out, you just flipping well do marketing, you get your systems mindset sorted out, and you're profitable on purpose. That's the 4 things you need to do. So let's go for it. Here are examples of people who've done it. It doesn't have to be sexy, but it has to be appropriate for the marketplace and what they're doing and how they do it. So those are the rules. Simplify the strategy, simplify the business model, stand out, just flipping well do the marketing, systems mindset, and be profitable on purpose. I'm going to go for this, right? So simplify the business strategy, simplify the model, right? At its simplest, a 1-page strategy document printed on the wall. Spend 15 minutes a day thinking about and reviewing your strategy, 30 minutes a week with a team review, half a day a month in the board meeting, 1 day a quarter strategy review, 2 days a year replanning. That is it. The 1-page business plan up on the wall. You know, that done, you know. You need to simplify the business model. You know, make it easy to sell your time. Secondly, you need to stand out. You have to stand out and do this marketing. So here's the question. In fact, let's just do it while we're all here together. Into the chat, into the chat in that bottom right corner. 1 sentence. Why should I buy from you and not from your competitors? My friends, put it in the chat. Let's just go for this one. I'm always fascinated to see how easy people find this or difficult. Into the chat. Why should I buy from you and not from your competitors? Put it in right now. Let's have a look. Type. We create sustainable growth. Cool. Thank you, Marcus. I wonder what Ben Potter's going to write. We'll solve any customer process problem by using HubSpot. Very nice, like that, Tim. Complex simplified via animation. Complex simplified via animation. Proven sector experience to deliver on the sales pipeline, because of the use of data ensures that we can prove our strategy work and get you the results you blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nice, very good. Very good. I'll help you win the right clients. Well done. Ben, I bet you've been working on that. We create insights for actions, not just reports and data. We understand your business and client needs. Philippa, nice one, Philippa. Lovely. Steve, we specialize in SEO for private healthcare providers using a simple and holistic approach. Panos, 20 years. Really interesting. Tom Bowen will help you attract, win, and retain people. Really interesting. My point always is, if it's not convincing, I'm going to phone you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and if you don't get it right, I'm going to phone you up 10 minutes later until you get it right. We've got to get it right. Thank you, Russell. That's really good. And most of us, I'd still argue, as we look at each other's, is that really tight enough? Is it a wow, or rather, is it a wow for the direct clients you're trying to sell to? My issue is always this buzzword bingo, it's just monstrously wonderful. All the things that people say, you look at websites and they're all saying exactly the same stuff, blah, 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 we. It's not about the client. So how do you stand out? It used to be, a unique selling proposition on brand or niche or fame or IP or umbrella business. I think now it's about taking 2 or 3 of these. Thank you, Igor. I think it's now about taking 2 or 3 of these and lumping them together, combining your differentiators. So at a minimum, go big on brand, be different, clear, professional. Yeah. At a minimum, go big on positioning. Be narrow, say no to people, be the expert. At a minimum, go simple on messaging. Yeah, be clear, relevant, value driven. And great to see that most of you are really clear in what you do and what you don't do. And here are a bunch of examples. So second part is just flipping well do marketing. Just ironically, just talk as much as possible. It doesn't have to be all the fancy stuff. So 3, because we're rattling through some big ideas, the systems mindset. Systems mindset is just about quality, repeatability, consistency at scale without you. So think franchise, think artisan bakery, think recipes, create a business which has this rinse and repeat, work your way through. So you need templates, you need processes, you need accountability for you and the team. And how do you do this? I reckon 30 minutes a day for 6 weeks. You'll gain a day of time per week just by spending 30 minutes a day just working on this stuff. And then finally be profitable on purpose. People were talking about profit, of 25, 30%. Most people are asking for 10. It's kind of it's really difficult. So how do you do that? It depends, I'd go for just under 20% this year if you can. It's about being consistent, keeping an eye on gross margin, aim for 50%, and review. Be on top of those numbers. So many agencies aren't on top of their numbers. But you're saying our clients won't pay this, our costs are too high, it's too competitive. Well, that means there's one or two problems. Either it's a business model problem. In other words, you've got too many people being paid too much to do the work at the price that you charge. Or it's a positioning problem that people don't get what you do and don't understand what you do, or you're positioning yourselves with the wrong people, or there's something bigger to be dealt with. But as Peter Drucker says, innovate or die. So here's the advice. A sales efficacy test. Efficacy, how efficient, how good is your test, your sales, you need all three of these in your sales. And I'm just going to drill down on sales today because I think it's so important. If you've got the sales team and you're doing the activity but no proposition, it's just that's just a waste of time. If you've got the proposition and you've got the activity, but you've got no sales team, then there are missed opportunities. And if you've got the sales team and you've got the great proposition but there's no activity, then no one knows about you. You've got to get all three sorted out. And now I just want to drill down to the proposition just very, very quickly. We have this wonderful circle where we have customer desires, competitors proposition, and your value proposition, and there's this kind of place in the middle, points of parity. And that's kind of where people always seem to end up sort of talking. But the magic place to be is that place where your customers' desires and your value proposition meet, but it's not what the competitors are talking about, the points of difference. And that's the sweet spot you need to be going for. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because I just feel that this sense of how we position ourselves, everyone says we must position ourselves, but people just don't kind of get to the nub of doing it. And even if they do it, they don't get to the point of executing, going back to that earlier slide. So it's all very well spending the money on the proposition. If you don't actually create the website and create the people and create the plan, then it's kind of pointless. You've got to keep it all going. So that's the piece. And then when we come to activity, I'm going to just go down even deeper on that. Primary obstacle to sale. Primary obstacle to sale is not the seller's struggle to sell. It's not about you. It's not about how hard you find it. It's your potential customers are totally and utterly overwhelmed by too much information. You just pour it out on them. It's just bonkers. So the primary obstacle to sale is the customer's inability to buy. Look, we know this stuff. Nearly everyone undertakes pre-purchase research. Over half the people have already made their decision, before they contact you. We know this stuff, but yet we still shout, we still scream, we still run and we shout at people. So there's 3 ways to sell. Let me just go through them. Giving. I can give you a lot more information on that. The whole content is king. Read my blog, read my white paper. And the trouble with that, of course, is it's not very effective. This is just over 2,000 high value sales from Gartner, challenger sales organizations. You only get 30% success rate from that. This is really interesting. Then you think, oh, it's telling. Do you remember that challenger sales stuff? I'm going to tell you what you need. Go in, blow the client away with that killer question, tell them what they need, and people will be so amazed. They'll buy from you. The more traditional kind of right wing, this is what you need, this is what you've got to do, everyone else is liars, you just got to listen to me approach. Now the I know best, I'll tell you what you need to know, I'll tell you what you need to do approach, which was very popular, isn't that successful. 50% sales success rate, percentages, sellers closing a high quality, low regret deal, which is what you do. And then the final piece, and this is the bit that I think we're missing, the piece in the jigsaw puzzle, sense making. In sense making, you're saying there's a lot of information out there. Let me help you make sense of it. We're giving clarity and authority, because this is from the research for HubSpot, the research from Google, the research from Microsoft. But we're going to make it easier for you to make the decision by bringing that information together in a way to help you make the decision. So what you're doing in sense making is taking all that complexity. Should it be PPC? Should it be SEO? Should it be Meta? Should it be video ads? Should it be 25%, 75%? Should it be on Thursdays? Should you do LinkedIn? All that noise that's going on for the client, and just making it really simple for them to understand what the opportunities are for them, and help them create the purchasing criteria. That's sense making. Just prioritizing, giving simplicity in a nice, authoritative manner. Sense making. That's how you make the sale. And sense making works. Surprise, surprise. So, state of the nation. Set the stage. Those are the winners. Here's the opportunity and the call to action. Niche and your positioning in the model. Expertise, move from talking about marketing, from talking about execution to marketing and strategy. Get your financials now, get AI to empower what you're doing. And think about your mindset. Go from being the mindset of the agency owner, I need more stuff for my agency, to the mindset of an entrepreneur. What's the next opportunity and what do I need to do to make it happen? Stop thinking you have a hammer and everything's a nail. Start thinking about what is it that customers really want. So my argument would be it's a glass half full, not a glass half empty world. I would argue this is the model you need to be using. How do we stand out? How do we create simplicity in our systems and processes? And let's get the commercials right and sorted out. So what do you need to do this week? How can we simplify the business? How can we just make it so much easier? How can we 80-20 just about everything in the business so that it's more of a machine and less of everything is created new and so on and so forth? This month, get into why should people buy from us? I was very respectful of what you wrote down when I asked you that, but is that really, does that really resonate? What you said, does that actually resonate to the people who you're trying to sell? Do they go, oh my God, these people are the people I need to talk to? Or does it look a bit the same as everyone else? And how are we going to sell? And this quarter, get urgent. And in fact, part of the time thing is about, thinking quarterly, not annually. Get quarterly business plans, not annual business plans. That way you spend time sorting stuff out and making stuff happen. So, showed you this slide before, but I'll show it again. Ayrton Senna, he says you cannot overtake 15 cars in sunny weather, but you can when it's raining. Just love that. Another way of seeing that is the Swedish proverb, rough waters are truer tests of leadership. In calm water, every ship has a good captain. So what I'm saying is this is exciting. There is opportunity out there. This is a very exciting time to be. If you want to know more about the glass ceiling audit, you can click and you can download the audit. We have an audit around the glass ceiling so that it tells you where your strengths and where your weaknesses are. And of course, you could email me. And you're saying, you've not finished, you've done everything on the agenda, but you've not done the AI predictions. What about that? Well, okay. So here's the PS. Couple of predictions. I want to be really brief. Prediction number one, automation will replace 50% of routine digital agency tasks by 2026. That's a year. Yeah, what does that mean? Operational impact, immense, because overheads will reduce. Competitive pressure, immense, because clients will expect faster, smarter, brighter, cheaper. And the talent shift will go from wanting kids, so to speak, to wanting strategic thinkers and people who can interpret the AI. The talent impact is going to mean there's going to be 5 changes. The rise of AI augmented roles, increased demand for data scientists, a shift towards strategic consulting roles. See, that keeps coming back to this consultancy and strategic piece. We're going to do something to upskill and create a more learning culture. And the idea of these fixed teams is going to become less and less. We're going to have more and more groups of individuals who come together and disappear or work in lots of different groupings and different roles. You know, it's going to change. And prediction number 2 is the rise of the AI native talents. Probably not people of my age and of many people's ages here, but people who are born AI natural, so to speak. That's going to redefine digital agencies again by 2026, because they're going to make things very, very different. There's going to be hiring challenges, because traditional marketing roles, the current heads of roles, will become almost obsolete unless people have got AI fluency. Talent costs are going to change, because we're only people we want are going to be the AI literate ones, and there's not enough of them. So that's another budgetary pressure. And then there's going to be the culture shift as we go from creative first to even more tech driven. So Sun Tzu, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. I think this is incredibly exciting, nerve-wracking, exciting, nerve-wracking time to be running an agency. I wrote an article this morning about why so many agencies are up for sale. I think that's fairly obvious. So many people are suddenly in their late 40s, 50s. They've spent 10, 15 years running agencies. They've had enough, and it's hard. But there will be change. But I think most of the people on this this call will be part of the change, and they'll be there for the long game. So we will return, to a Q&A session now. If you want to download the glass ceiling audit, which just really talks about what we're talking about here, feel free to do that. If you want to email me, please do that. And on that note, I think we throw open Q&A. Okay, so let's just go for the Q&A. Raise your hand or whatever it is, and I'd love to take your questions, and we'll work through until the hour. We've got 25 minutes. So I'm sure you don't agree with everything I said. And thank you very much for listening.